So how will it end? That question is on the minds of millions tonight with the premiere of the 6th and final season of the sci-fi smash Lost. And with that mystery in mind, my colleague John Donvan went to the show's set in Hawaii, where he was granted extremely rare access behind the scenes to see what made Lost such a phenomenon, and he went in search of any secrets he could find.
Once upon a time, under an endless sky, there was a beach where people came to tell a very tall tale of once upon a time.
Remember, I beat the crap out of Charlie right over there, I think. No, don't be walking on our graves.
Whoa, sorry.
A couple of other people are buried here, Nikki and Paolo, those two people who sort of showed up and
came and went.
Disappeared. Mr. Echo's church, he never got to finish it. He had to pay the price for his
karma.
Good word.
Generally speaking, the world divides into two groups. Group one, those who know exactly what this man's talking about and would recognize his face in their sleep. And group two, those who do not have a clue. He's Terry O'Quinn. He stars on a TV show called Lost, playing a spiritual character named John Locke. You Group 1 people know that, of course. And this little stretch of beach we strolled the other day, it's where the story began 6 years ago with a bang. A plane crash onto a remote Pacific island. And while this show on a beach early on broke many of the shackles of conventional TV storytelling, as it followed survivors through a wild and woolly mystery, at the end of this season,
what the hell just happened?
Lost will break one more rule. It is ending, taking itself off the air on purpose, and taking a full season to do it. And despite a certain wistfulness that this all will become past tense,
it's just glorious.
It's been fun, huh?
Oh, God. It's been great.
Action!
On the set where they were still shooting the other day, the final episodes are not done yet, and no, we cannot show you what's going on inside that big wooden box. Sorry, we promised. On the set, there is a sense of pride and satisfaction that ending on purpose is just one more thing that makes Lost like no other show ever aired on network television.
That's appropriately crazy.
Crazy. Now, that's director Jackiem Benderem, and for you Group 2 folks, he's just given you a key insight into Lost. It's a really weird, crazy show, and just a stroll through the lot among old sets gives you a flavor for how weird it gets.
These are special electronic gizmos.
We're in Hawaii, where every scene in the show is produced, every foreign scene and every aspect of the fictional island of Lost. Its virginal beaches and its isolated waterfalls discovered for the first time, actually sites like the Waimea Valley Audubon Center, which is open to the public year-round.
Our show has been mainly location-driven, and mainly both in terms of the jungle, the beach, and all the beautiful things in Hawaii that we've shot, along with making it Iraq, making it Paris, making it Los Angeles, all the places we've gone in our show, without ever having to cut to a cheesy establishing shot, I might say proudly. We have pulled off
Eiffel
here.
Tower?
No Eiffel Tower and then cut to the cafe. We all feel we're ready to stop. Creatively, we've told the story we want to tell.
Dmonem Lindelofem and Crltonem Cusem, the show's executive producers, whose demand 3 years ago to stop at 6 seasons, they argue, is why Lost has succeeded.
An enormous blessing. It is incredibly rare. It's easy to find writers who want their show to end. It's very difficult to find networks that want to, end something that is successful.
I'm Kate.
It's a curious argument. Making Lost end saved Lost from dying. And it makes sense if you get what made this show different. The answer: characters, story, and fans. Characters first.
I'll tell you what it is, John. I think that it's not a typically American show.
What Terry means is that while the character he plays is an American, the larger number of the show's main characters are not. There are Australians, Brits, Africans, an Iraqi who served in Saddam's army, Koreans who speak a lot of Korean. There's no other network show willing to make viewers read this many subtitles.
I did. You're a liar. You lied to me. I told you the truth.
And nobody is easy.
You're gonna lecture us about lying, Betty?
Everybody lies.
Why are you lying to me about him?
How do I know that you're not the one who's lying?
Why are you lying to me, Saeed?
And what would you know about lying, son?
I think you're lying.
We're gonna have to lie.
Lie about what? And you're a liar.
The most sweet-faced and sympathetic blows up her father in a house. And the guys who are supposed to be strong, like the handsome surgeon Jack Shepard, played by Matthew Fox, are self-loathing and, in his case, suicidal. No, it's not easy.
It's a very demanding show. You have to pay very close attention, and you have it's not something that you can sort of just pop in and out of.
Samantha, why do you think it worked?
It's full of surprises. I really think that it's Lost. It's sort of like a really big puzzle, and I think that people really enjoy something that challenges them to think like that.
Which takes us to story. So we know how these desert island stories go. They're going to build a raft. They're going to get involved. Doctor with Sweetie. Sweetie with Con Man. Con Man with... oh, she's a doctor too. Nice, straight storylines, right?
You're dead. What do you expect me to do?
Far from it, because polar bears pop up. A column of smoke kills people. A wheel makes the island relocate. Lost isn't a storyline, it's a story tangle of subplots, flashbacks, flash-forwards, red herrings.
Hey, are you on the boat? Your boat.
I'm not on a boat.
Not a plot, it's a maze.
Are you getting this?
When we started traveling through time was when I think you started going, oh, great. Now where are we headed with this? But I had, I trust the writers, and I was just like, okay, let's see how it's going to unravel.
15, 16, 20, 44.
Unravel? Jorge Garcia plays the good-hearted Hurley who's haunted by 6 numbers, whose meaning, as of tonight, remains unresolved. We know that before the island, the numbers won him a fortune.
Without a winner.
No. Stop! Stop! I can't do this!
When the survivors find a man-made shaft, the numbers are there also.
Type in exactly what I tell you. Understand exactly, nothing else.
And that later, Locke must type the numbers every 108 minutes to prevent the end of the world, or something. That is a triple subplot crisscross. A lot of moving parts for one TV show. Which is why when Jorge got me back into the prop room, it was like visiting a storyteller's attic. So much stuff was there.
Yeah, this was the flag made from a Hawaiian shirt.
Our journey around Lost took a nostalgic turn when I asked Jorge Garcia about the show's prop room, a place that he hadn't ever poked around in before.
This is cool. I've actually never been in this area.
And everything is there, according to prop master Rob Kiker.
Most of that right there is all stuff from the hatch.
Everything any character has ever handled in any episode.
Mr. Echo's Jesus stick, they called it.
Jorge, opening crates, seemed to be doing a little time travel of his own, the way it took him back.
This is what Nightline gets.
Yeah.
We even spotted that famous lottery ticket, the one with all those numbers.
Your lucky number.
What do the numbers mean?
That is the voice of the fans.
We do know that he has telekinetic powers.
Why does Hurley have visions?
Who, in hundreds of blogs and fan sites, endlessly work to break the code. Theories and research collected on sites like The Transmission, whose husband and wife team spend hours on this podcast. And yes, they have day jobs.
There are people out there who have spent more time on Lost than we have. So, they've watched every episode 9, 10, 11 times.
And what does Hurley say?
Welcome to the first and hopefully last Island Open.
Or go to Hawaii to relive scenes, like the one where Hurley gets everyone to play golf. So you show up with your Hurley action figure, and it happens all over again.
These fan communities started becoming viral. We were able to go on message boards and into chat rooms and get feedback.
It served as a barometer of what we were doing.
Then something happened. While Lost took off initially because fans were willing to play the game, and this was the day that Season 2 premiered.
It's a little overwhelming, to be honest with you.
Something happened in the course of Season 3. Fans began raising doubts over whether these stories really had any design to them, whether they were puzzles after all that would be solved,
Been on this rock long enough to realize.
Or just a lot of crazy plot getting crazier to fill up time, which alarmed the show's producers because they agreed Lost was starting to tread water a little.
At the beginning of the third season of the show, we had our characters locked in cages, and I think looking back on it now, Damon and I are like, well, I think that's metaphorically how we felt. We felt we were locked in cages.
We were doing our best, but at a certain point, the show basically just ran out of story.
The fans were already at that point expressing real reservations about making an investment.
If you weren't able to work towards an ending, all you could do was middle.
And so, against the rule that says when you have a hit, you run it until it dies, 3 years ago they mapped out a conclusion and picked an end date. Lost found its way again by heading for home.
The decision to end the show absolutely saved the show. I mean, we would not be sitting here now. No one would care about Lost. We are absolutely convinced that had we not been able to negotiate an end date to the show would have just sort of faded into irrelevancy.
It's as simple as that. And so, 15 episodes from tonight, we say goodbye to the show on the beach where the sky may be endless, but the story is not. And that is good. I'm John Donvan for Nightline in Honolulu.